A day in the life of a nobody. A day in the life of a nobody.
What do you do when you've got a hobby? You have a friend that you do this hobby with. So for me, it's mountain climbing and camping, trekking, rock climbing, scrambling, being in the mountains generally. Usually getting a bit pissed. But largely just spending time in the rugged part of the outdoors, in mountains, near lakes, you know. And I have a friend, Mike, we've done this for years. And sometimes we'd have a couple of years we didn't see each other, you know. I'm married, got kids, he's not. I mean, he just never quite found the right lady. And so kind of settled into his own skin, really. But was always passionate about going climbing, and so every now and then, you know, every year or two, we'd go, right, should we meet up at Tryfan, North Wales, or should we go to the lakes, or let's go to Scotland, go walk around Knoydart, all this stuff. And we've done this for years. And it was a good outlet. I didn't have to, you know, we'd always get together and have a great first evening, probably overdo it a bit, go climbing the next day, or not, depending on how much we'd overdone it the night before. By the third day, we were normally a bit sick of each other. We'd drunk too much, weren't feeling great, a bit tired, ready to go home. And that was, you know, that was a kind of a pattern. We were okay with that. It was fine. It worked. We weren't offended by the fact we were fed up with each other. We just, you know, we didn't need to spend 5 days together. 3 was enough. And when we did spend 5 days together, it would kind of balance itself out, because you kind of, you know, it's like going on holiday. If you go on holiday for 3 days, you take 1 day to calm down. Second day you relax. Third day you're going home. If you go for 3 weeks, it takes a week to calm down and stop being stressed, a week to relax, then you're packing up and going home. So whatever you've got, you kind of adapt to it. Well, 3 days was always pretty good for rock climbing. And it was a good outlet for me because it got me away from my, you know, the stresses of home life, which, you know, I love my home life, but at the same time, it's lovely to get away from it for a little bit and just do your thing, you know. And not think about work, the kids, the problems, whatever they might be. So, and then my friend died like 5 years ago, suddenly, from a heart attack. And I was obviously shocked and very upset when it happened. With the funeral, all that. And I know I'll miss him and all this. You know, I felt all the emotions that you feel. I was grieving for quite a while. And now it's like 5 years later, maybe. Unbelievably, 5 years later. And I had no idea how bereft I would be and what a big hole it's left in my life, because he was the guy that I did that with, and I don't particularly enjoy doing it on my own. I haven't, you know, my wife Gemma doesn't, you know, she enjoys it, but does not really the same sort of thing. That she wouldn't go and camp with me on the side of a mountain. You know, it's not really her thing, and that's fair enough. Besides, but it was a kind of guy thing, you know. I could moan about Gemma, and he could moan about whatever he had to moan about, and it was a kind of a guys thing, you know. That was it. I've never needed that a lot in my life, but I need a little bit of it. I'm not one of these people who goes to football matches. I don't enjoy all that macho bollocks. It doesn't appeal to me. I'm not one of those. I'm not a blokey bloke, but I nevertheless do enjoy some male company from trusted people, of whom he was one. And so when it boils down to it now, basically, I miss that. I want to go. Oh, Gemma, I'm going to go climbing next weekend with Mike, and I can't. I don't want to go. I don't want to make new friends. It sounds awful, I know. Like, people might go, why? It's because I don't have to go through all that. You know, what Mike and I had, 9/10 of it was unspoken, because we knew each other so well. We'd known each other since we were 21, 20, 38 years. So it was never a journey of discovery or getting to know someone when I was with him. It was just an exploration of thoughts, ideas. I don't want to have to go through that, you know, getting to know someone business. Really don't. It's odd, but it doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. And I'm beginning to sound like my mother now, who's on the beginnings of dementia. I just want it to be back like it was. I don't want to have to start again. But I know it never can be back like it was, because I'm never going to get my friend back. And I don't know what the solution is, but the solution isn't, for me, the idea of join a club, get to know some other 60-year-old men. I don't want to do that. It doesn't appeal to me in the slightest. And also, you know, going with Mike every year or two, whenever we went, you get through all the shit, so you know what pisses him off, you know he knows what pisses you off, so you have learned a code of behaviour with each other, and not to be offended if when they suddenly get pissed off for some reason. It's not your fault, it's just the way they are. You know, you've gone through all that, so you've got all that kind of knowledge, that sort of telepathic kind of knowledge of each other. Because you've had all that shit where you've been through and discussed all those things that pissed each other off, and you've been through those arguments. And I don't want to do it all again. So these have been my first thoughts on that.
And it would be so funny, it would be so funny if I had $1 for everyone. And it would be so funny, it would be so funny, a day in the life of a nobody. And it would be so funny, it would be so funny if I had $1 for everyone. And it would be so funny, it would be so funny, a day in the life of a nobody.